guys who are VIPs and everybody who supports the Olympia. This year was an important year for us. Our owner, Jay Wood, and myself, and our team, and our Vice President, Angelica Nemia, and Tamer Al-Gindi, and Kaden Raleigh, and Martin Carrillo, and Sophia Evangelista, and Chris Bumstead, and Rhoda The Voice, and everybody who is a part of this experience. We came together earlier this year, and we said, guys, we have to just go all in. We have to put all our chips in and make this something special. So we decided to do a deal with this property for many, many reasons. One of them was because we knew this property has a visceral, powerful presence on the Las Vegas Strip. They are able to light up our sport in a way that almost no other property in the world can, to be honest with you. The way this building represents our brand, the way it represents the sport, the various things that we were able to do in and around Resorts World, it turned out to be an incredible opportunity for the sport of bodybuilding, not just the Olympia, but for anyone who loves this sport, who promotes events, who competes, and lives this lifestyle, to be able to come to Las Vegas and see our sport lit up in the entertainment capital of the world was an incredibly powerful and gratifying thing for all of us. I think it's a win for everyone who is part of this crusade with us. So for that, I'm incredibly indebted to all of you guys for your support. So thank you for that. Now, if you'll excuse me. So guys, this is quite a group. And what makes this group so amazing is, I know you guys are big fans of all this, so you know all the stories. And I go up and down this panel, and every one of you guys is the embodiment of the stories. Joe Leader used to tell us it's not about the physiques, the bodies, it's about the stories. It's once you peel away those layers and get inside these champions, and you find what drives them, what moves them, what empowers them, what they've overcome, the things they've endured, their wins, their losses, their bruises, their blood, their sweat, and their tears. And when you understand that, that's what makes this sport amazing. Because all of us are here for reasons that go far beyond having abs and biceps and sweeping quads. It's about being something and having the courage to endure that transformational spirit, the suffering, all that goes with it. And I happen to know nearly all of you guys, and I know that each of you has bled and has suffered and has gone through it in all parts of your life. And I've gotten a chance to know a lot about your lives. And I will just tell you that seeing you guys with those gold medals around your neck, standing atop your sport, representing this industry, this community, representing the Olympia, it is incredibly gratifying for me to see you guys have your moments. And it makes it easier for all of us to do our jobs, because this job is not easy. When you oversee something that so many people care about, and you realize that it is impossible to make everyone happy, and every single day you go through it and we make choices, and we're all in on this together, right? We make choices, whether it's production value, with promotion, with how we structure our event, with the kind of physique that you choose to present, who you choose to have coach you, who you choose to keep in your circle, and who you keep out of your circle. These are all collective decisions that lead you to this moment. And when I go up and down this table and I see all of you, I see those who have reclaimed titles, like you, Harold, and what a big win for you, and I couldn't be happier for you. I really couldn't. But I do want to just mention a couple things before we get to number 19. 19, imagine. 19. It's great. There's certain sports you can just say a number and everybody just kind of knows, right? Does anybody not know what 19 means when I say 19? Good. Thank God. All right. But I want to draw attention to two people in particular that have really moved me as I've had this job over the last 6+ years. I don't know, there have been some amazing champions, right? We talk about Ronnie Coleman and Lee Haney, and Phil Heath, and the list goes on. There have been incredible champions in all of our divisions. Della Garcia, Iris Kyle, Evan Murray. We've had some of the best athletes, the most dedicated people on the planet rise to the top of the mountain. I don't know that any champion has carried themselves better, has done more for a longer amount of time in terms of how they prepare, how they inspire, how they communicate, than our 8-time figure Olympian champions. So you are the embodiment of everything every champion should aspire to.
Yeah.
And I know that others who have gained international fame, like Chris, and we'll get to Chris in a second, they have followed your playbook. And they see the way you speak to your fans, and the way you teach, and the way you try to give everybody what they need to join this lifestyle in the healthiest way. And watching the way you present yourself, you are truly a unicorn in what you do. When you walk out on that stage, it is mesmerizing how good you are, how you carry yourself, how polished your presentation is. You are a meticulous student of this sport, and the figure division was grateful, should be grateful to have had you for all these years. And I know all of us at the Olympia are incredibly proud of what you've achieved. So thank you so much. The lady sitting to your right is pretty damn impressive as well. Laura Lee, you missed this one. This has not been your best show for a few years, and I know you've gone through it. You've won some great titles around the world, and you've become one of the most recognizable people in the bikini world. But for you to show up here and to have never given up, I know what you've gone through. I know it's been a real road, and I know you have been one of the hardest, most relentless competitors, and you train. A lot of people don't fully understand what this bikini division, how they train, how hard they work. A lot of people think because of the type of physique they present that it is on some level easier. But if you ever go in there and train with Laura Lee Chapados, I dare you to try to keep up, because it is impressive and it is difficult. And Laura, I am so proud that you finally reached the mountaintop. So congratulations. When I took this job 6 years ago, we had talked about hoping that somebody new, needed some new blood, somebody to come into the sport and to supercharge it. And there was this guy that I hadn't met before. He came in and we had just sort of gotten this new division going, right? This classic physique division. And nobody really understood it. It was just kind of this new thing that we were trying to grow. And Jim, Mannion, and Tyler Mannion, and the Pro League, and the NPC, and everybody got behind you, Bob. I know you were also a big part of that whole process of sort of ushering in this new type of division that catered towards a different look. And then this guy wins the title in the first year, and it was the first year that I was running the Olympia, and he got popular. He became a rocket ship, and it wasn't just fame though, it was so much more than that. It was the way people connected to the message. It was this level of authenticity, and it was this level of truth that people really related to, because he had the courage to let people in without any layers and just say, hey, come and be a part of my world and ride along this journey with me. And people always say, what's the secret serum? What's the special sauce for Chris's success? And I don't know that it's that complicated. He's just real. And whenever we would call upon him to represent the sport, or to go do something, or speak at a school, or whatever it is, he just said yes. And now here he is, as the most famous fitness celebrity in the world. Give it up for 6-time champion. And it's a little bit emotional for me to think about Chris not being on this stage every year, but the best part about Chris is he's not going anywhere. He's still a central part of what we do, and as you'll see over the coming months and years, Chris's presence will be felt in more ways than I can share now, but I know we have big plans for things that we're going to be doing going forward, and he's going to continue to inspire many people. In the spirit of time, I'm just going to lastly say this. The greatest moments in the history of bodybuilding are those nights in 2006, in 1998. You know where I'm going with this. Those nights, 2008, these are all the years where a champion is crowned for the first time. There's something about those nights that are just different. You know you're a part of something. The first Olympia I attended was the 1998 Mr. Olympia in New York City. It was the night Ronnie won it for the first time, and I'm so proud. And I wore that as a badge of honor. And I was there that night, and I saw Ronnie collapse to the ground as Flex Wheeler, looked in disbelief and shock and awe. And we saw that last night with this epic showdown between one of the most competitive lineups we've had in a long time, and we have this incredible reigning defending champion, Derek Lunsford, who's carried himself as an incredible champion, came in here ready to win this thing, and of course Hadi Choopan, who's one of my favorite bodybuilders of all time. I'm such a big fan of Hadi Choopan, and I love the fans of Iran, the support, and just such an amazing bodybuilding force, and he's such a warrior in terms of how he prepares and how he shows up, and he's got one of the best physiques I've ever seen. And then comes along Samson, and he shows up, and he shocked the world, and it was such an incredible thing for us to be a part of and to witness your emotion, and I know how much you put into this physique, into your journey, into your process, and when anyone just looks into your eyes, and we see that there's just something different in your eyes. It's this level of truth, it's a level of emotion that you carry with you, and you're just so real, and I know, I can tell by the way you carry yourself that you pay attention to guys like Chris. I can see that in you. That's not lost on me, and I've seen the way so many of what you've done and how you've prepared for your moment in time. And the great thing about becoming Mr. Olympia, I always say whenever a Mr. Olympia champion is crowned, the first thing I do is I walk over to them and I remind them that their life will never be the same. Because right now it's not just about being the best in the world. That's awesome, right? Who doesn't want to be the best at what they do? And all of you guys now know that feeling. But in the case of Samson, to be able to connect with people the way that you do, you're just so incredibly human and so real. But what I want to pay attention to is he shows up like a humble guy, right? Let's see how this plays out. Let's see if next year Samson shows up with those dark sunglasses. But and we're counting on that, by the way. But the truth of the matter is, you're a great champion, you're a great human, you deserve all of this. You really do. Yeah. And I know what it means for you and your fans. And I saw the reaction in that building last night when you were announced that you, my friend, are the 2024 Mr. Olympia. And I saw the way the group responded when Bob Chicarello said, and you. And it was moving for all of us. I know none of us will ever forget the moment that you became Mr. Olympia. So congratulations to the 19th. There's always questions and people have things they want to get into and all that. So we'll do that in a little bit. I'm going to pass the mic back to Bob. I know you guys have questions for these athletes, and I'm just, again, thank you for being a part of this year's Olympia. And it is the honor of a lifetime to get to do this job with the best team in the world. And for that, I'm already counting down. I am 20 minutes removed from the meeting that I just had, in which we are already planning for 2025.
Wow.
Just one clarification. I did not say and do. I said and do Olympia champion. The microphone's out there for the champion right there, buddy. The idea is to be the champ stuff now, so you can come prepared with your own microphone. Samson, what a great adventure it has been. I met you not that long ago, I met some years ago, it seems like forever now, in the UK when we did the split of the merger with our IMD and NPC divisions. I had over to the UK promoting some shows, and that's when we met. And I remember seeing your physique then, and I had a chance to catch up and talk. And I told you that you were just a young lion. I said, you got a physique that can be Mr. Olympia one day. Now keep going what you're doing. And here we are, 5-6 years later, and you are Mr. Olympia, buddy. I couldn't be more proud of you, buddy. Congratulations.
Thank you, Bob. Honestly, I do remember that conversation we had, and I know it was one of them shows where I was kind of going for one of my first ones, and you know, I didn't have that self-belief in myself. I didn't think that was possible. I just thought, you know what, if I could just get by and one day make it to the stage, it would be good enough. And you told me then that, you know what, there's something there. If you keep at this, you will be Mr. Olympia one day. I sort of thought you were kissing my ass and just full of shit though, but that was just, I think he was just being nice. He was being nice.
I am full of shit.
But since then, you've always spoken to me. You've always given me good guidance, and I've always been appreciated all day. And I want to say thank you very much. It means a lot.
Listen, you know down when you see it goes. I think it's been a long time. You can see a great physique. It's in the building stages, and you've done a great job presenting your physique. The hay bale was already started in post, but on Instagram and all that kind of stuff. But Samson, you've been dealing with that all year long, and you would have made the wrong decision all year. No matter what you did, you got ridiculed. This is something that all you athletes have to deal with these days. We didn't have Instagram and any of these things years ago, so the stuff we had to deal with was far removed in the magazines. But you guys are in real time, and you have to do yourself like a champ. But it's kind of interesting to see that, you know, no matter what move you made, it's the wrong one. What are you doing? Why are you going to Kuwait? You're not going to Kuwait. What kind of, you're changing coaches, so you can't have your wife as your coach. She doesn't know what she's doing. Apparently she does know what she's doing.
Yeah, she does. Yeah. She does.
She was quick to grab that check last night, but you got to say about it. But then he went to France. Oh, what's he doing? What's he doing? He's going to ruin his chances. He's going to show the Olympia way off. Well, that didn't happen. And then, of course, you got to the press conference. We were right here on this stage. And you committed the cardinal sin of all cardinal sins. You actually showed everybody your physique that you've been working on all this year. That just cursed you. That was for sure not going. Did you see Samson on stage? He's 2 weeks out. He's not even ready. He's not even close. He won't even make the top 5. How is it dealing with what you got to deal with today?
I think there's something we really learned this year is you can't please everybody.
That's right.
No matter what you do, people are going to always have something to say. So you just have to say, you know what, I know who I am. I'm confident in what I can do. I'm confident in what my team can do.
That's right.
I'm confident in what my life can do.
Yeah.
And so I know what I trust her with that. And so it's kind of, I think we're going to do it.
Samson, I'm going to circle back, so I'm going to get to the champs, and of course we got a whole bunch of stuff to recover. Congratulations, you are the 19th as we talk about, and you're new, Mr. Olympia. All right, I see you eyeing that stand out. You did say you were retiring last night. I think it might have caught a few people by surprise, but technically you didn't say you retired from the sport, you said you retired from classic, so. I don't know, I just kind of mind keeps going over that sand out. In all seriousness, Chris, congratulations, man. What a great career. Add another one to the title, 6-time champion now. And what an appropriate time, and obviously everybody's got their own personal decisions when they want to call it a day. I always think it's great when a champion can go out under their own power, make their own decision, on the Olympia stage to a standing ovation of a full house here in Vegas. And what a great way to walk out, and a great speech to boot. You are the consummate champion. Steve, congratulations. So, what did you decide that this would be it? Was it something earlier in the year, you kind of knew this was your last year, or was it something just along the way you said, you know what, maybe this is a good time?
Honestly, the truth is last year was almost my last year. And there's a whole story behind that, which everyone will learn eventually, but I almost walked away from the sport last year, and it was from a place of a bit of fear, a bit of resentment, and not the place of love that I know that I have in this sport. And, you know, I questioned with myself whether I would do this one or not. Last year, getting through a tough prep, going through a lat tear and a bunch of things, falling out, almost stepping away from it, I felt like I was walking away from the sport in a way that I didn't want to. And I finished on such a beautiful note. I was like, what if I could have done it better? What if I could have enjoyed the whole process more, done it lighter, had peace with it? And I felt like there was more in me. So I decided to go for another year. And I was just going to let myself ride it and see how I felt. And it was probably my favorite prep I've ever had in my life. You know, I've had my daughter and my wife with me this year. It's taken a little bit of the pressure off. You know, you're having bad day and you come home to a baby smiling, you're not having a bad day. So it was beautiful, and it was just such a great prep. I believe I brought my best look ever, and the whole year, just feeling good, body coming together, everything coming together. I was just at peace with being done. You know, there's nothing left to myself that I need to prove up here. I've had an amazing 6 years winning these Olympias, and I'm just excited for the next journey that comes. You know, there's something to leave in the party when your party's still fun. You know, you don't want to see the lights turn on, but you're still there. So I'm grateful that I get to step away on my own terms on a victory, getting to say goodbye to the crowd in my final speech. It was an honor, and it just felt right.
Well, it was very emotional. I think we really appreciate where you were coming from. But what did you make that decision? You said, okay, actually, this is it. Yeah, it certainly wasn't a game time call, right? This just happened last night.
No, yeah, it was well over a year ago.
No, so you knew last year, okay, I'm going to do one more and that's it.
I almost, like I said, I almost didn't even do this.
Right.
I stopped training for like 4 or 5 months after the Olympia last year, and I was like, I don't think I'm even going to do the next one. Well, maybe announce it halfway through the year. And then I was like, nah, I got a little more.
Started getting hungry, huh?
I got a little hungry, and I was like, I can do another one. I didn't feel fully at peace in my heart, you know. The most amazing thing about this weekend was that everything came together. I was at my best. I felt like I had more in me, and I could continue to do this, but I didn't want to. It just felt completely peaceful, saying goodbye exactly as I did, knowing I'm making the right decision, and you know, I'm just looking forward to the next chapter of my life.
So you had some great competition. You know, hers brought his best. It's probably the best hers I've seen. He's a very young man in this sport and has got a great career ahead of him. And Mike Sommerfeld, boy, he brought it. I mean, he was good. We saw him last year, the year before, I think we broke into the top 5. You could see he had all the tools. If you were to pick a successor, Dino, and there's a whole bunch of the guys, Wesley Vissers, who would you think is the best chance to take your spot next year?
That's such a tough question to answer because every year it kind of has been swapping around, but I'm really excited that, you know, I'm hoping me stepping away is going to put a fire under everyone's ass to come back even better and better, and I think it's going to be a tight show. It could be Ramon coming back up, Wesley can prove what everyone wanted to see this year, next year, Mike could take it, Urs could take it, it could be anyone. You know, I haven't said this anywhere else, but I want to talk to Dan about spicing up the prize a little bit. Because, coming from my side.
Yeah!
That's going to be some seagull money. That's coming from me, but it's truly been a privilege to be a part of this division, and I really want to get back. So next year, they're going to be getting a fatter check than I got this year, and hopefully that lights a fire under their ass. And who knows who's going to win, but I hope it's a worthy champ. I know it will be. There's incredible guys on the stage, and whoever takes the title is going to be someone that we
Well
want to
said.
know.
Yeah. That's good. That's good.
You guys have had a fire under your ass, but Andrea Shaw, you had a fire under your ass since the Rising Phoenix competition, haven't you?
Yes.
So you're in a whole different position. You have just killed it ever since you got on the scene. You had 40-year credit, everything was rolling. You won every single show of your Rising Phoenix. You got a car lot in your front yard for laying all those cars for the competitions and all that. Then all of a sudden, boom, brick wall right in front of you. Rising Phoenix comes, and your name wasn't called as the winner. This is unfamiliar territory to you, Andrea.
Extremely
Take me
uncomfortable.
back to that moment. What happens when you're in second place, uncharted territory?
It hurt bad. And I knew you better do something quick. If you get ready to have this title, you better do something quick. You got 8 weeks to stand on something and get it done extremely fast.
And let me just point out for the record, okay? Andrea's a consummate professional in victory, in defeat. You were the first one to congratulate Angie. You gave her for credit. You made no excuses. You said, you brought it, I did it, good for you. And I'm going to get you the Olympia, but you were very gracious in defeat. But just assure Angie, don't get used to the winner's circle, because in 8 weeks you're going to do this again.
I'm coming. That's it. And it's just a matter of when you know, as a champion, that you needed to cross a box that you didn't. You gotta own it. You gotta own it.
That's
you said,
right.
okay, whatever distraction existed, it must be removed. So I made the decision to stay in Arizona. I called my mom. I sat down with Sid. I
sat down with Linda Murray, and I talked to the judges, and I said, well, listen, the best decision at this point seems like I need to stay exactly where I am. I don't need to go back home. I don't need to talk to anybody else in Michigan. I need to stay right here, and I need to sit down with Damien and say, what's the plan? We got 8 weeks to get it done, and whatever it is that I need to do, whoever I need to move, that's what will happen, and that's exactly what I did.
You put the blinders on, and I was joking around with you last night, saying like in Rocky IV, where you went out to Siberia, you know, snow with the log and was trudging through, and I was just waiting for the montage music to hit it on your training, but talk about just recruiting the best team you can get. You got Cindy Gillon, you got Linda Murray, and you know, 16 Olympia titles.
Yeah, and that's what's so great about this sport, right? When I thought about it, I said, I'm right here in Arizona, and there are 2 women who I absolutely know. They understand exactly what's going to be required of me at this moment. And so I leaned into them. I really did. I asked for their advice, and I actually asked Sid, okay, when we look at this feedback, what was it that I was lacking on stage? And she told me right away, that conditioning got to be tightened up.
That's right.
You got to tighten up.
That's right.
And it was like, okay, well, you know what? I know being here in Arizona, I will do that. But now I'm going to rely on my tribe. I'm going to rely on my team and say, okay, I got to do things differently.
Wow.
And I think bodybuilding has helped me to grow up more. I think for me as a champion, this journey, the medals are great, the accolades are great, but I'm growing myself.
That's right.
And I'm becoming the woman that I'm supposed to be. And that hiccup was a part of the journey, because as much as it hurt, it helped me to light a fire and renew my passion for what it is that I love to do.
And an interesting premise, because technically, if you don't go to the Rising Phoenix and you don't get that wake-up call, maybe that happens on the Olympia stage, right? So you talk about the blessing in disguise, right? It had to pop into your head at some point that, you know what, maybe that was all things for a purpose, because this, maybe you wouldn't be in the scene right now.
Yeah. And it showed me what I needed was already in there. I just needed to step back and say, okay, Andrea, what do you need to do to secure the victory? And that's where I had my growth moment. And for 8 weeks, we made it happen.
Now you got 5 in the bank, you're catching up to your other Linda Murray, she's got it in, of course, with the great Irish Kyle at 10. But I would bet, I guess. What do you think, folks? That's Andrea Shaw.
Yeah!
Thank you to Damien. Damien really took the time to sit with me and believe in me. And you know, when you have a coach who takes you, and that's big for a coach. I'm going to hand you the rest of the prep and say, give me what you got, and I'll give you the best I got. But a huge thank you to him because he really believed in me and what I could do and what we could do together to make it happen.
All right, thank you, Andrea. Sarah, what's up? All you did was win another title, which is up in the record books. The great Juliana Lemoncardi had the title with her. Now you have just had your 4th Olympia title. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, but I do have to correct you. She has 4 as well, so now we're tied.
She has 4.
Yes.
To lose track with that. So you're tied with the all-time champ. But you are showing no signs of slowing down at all. You've been in a unique position as well as
Yeah,
you
she
won the
did.
title, lost the title, won the title back. Everybody was expecting another rematch, which we got, but you came out on top this year.
Yes, you know, this is my 7th Olympia, and like you said, I've kind of worn every hat. I've been this unknown athlete who came in and won the upset back in 2020 when I won for the first time. And then I was able to defend that title in 2021 when I got my second one. 2022, I experienced defeat, and then last year, coming back and reclaiming that title, you know, which is not something that has been done very many times on the Olympia stage, to come back and reclaim a title. And then just to come back and, you know, I mentioned this earlier in the weekend, this weekend, knowing that that the 4th title was on the line, it really was kind of just like competing against history, and really working to put my name up there to tie as the most winningest women's physique Olympia champion. So it definitely feels like a job well done. But I will say that I believe that records are meant to be broken, not just tied. So I'm definitely coming back next year, and you know, we're just gonna go as far as we can.
Wasn't the fact that he won the title, it's the fact that he lost it and kept winning it back. And that's exactly what you're, not that you want too many losses and then comebacks, but would you change in your physique? What do you think that you need to bring this year? So you're in the Natalia go back and forth now, or you have at least a few times, but what changes do you think you need to make sure you win that winner's circle?
I wouldn't really say that there was anything that I needed to change. It's just that same old tired line of continuing to improve. Even when I didn't win the title in 2022, it wasn't that there was anything that was maybe necessarily off. And so I think really just continuing to refine the physique, women's physique is very clear about what they ask for. And so just being very intentional throughout the year about training, making sure that you develop the right areas to just bring an improved package, maybe not necessarily something different. And so, you mentioned a lot of change coming from 2022 after experiencing that defeat into 2023. I was able to look at my physique and evaluate it in a different way to really kind of just shake off the dust and kind of look for like a new image, if you will, and just bring something that was still very me, but a lot more refreshed. And I really liked that look, so I think just bringing even more of that, throughout this prep, it wasn't so much for me as, focusing on like change or development. I really, last year I spoke a lot about the process, and maybe it's because my headspace was in a different place, but this year I was really just trying to be grateful, and so I focused a lot on the sacrifice. That's a topic that's been mentioned quite a few times this weekend, the sacrifice that everybody up here makes to get to where we're at. And so just really reflecting on that and what bodybuilding has given to me and what I've given to it. And not only that, but also the sacrifices of those around me. I mention my husband all the time, who's my coach, and he's just been such an integral part of this journey. And so just reflecting on the sacrifices that he makes for my dreams, and just really experiencing gratitude along with that, because I'm entering into, I'm a veteran at this, I'm not the new blood anymore. Entering into the second phase of my career. So really just working to cement myself in my place in this chapter of this story that we call bodybuilding, and just trying to, really figure out what my story will be and what that cementing will look like for the rest of time.
Well, you're shaking that dust off. You are dust free, and you are the four-time Olympia champion. Give it up for Isabelle Nunes. If anybody was due, it was you. We've been talking about this for years. You came down years ago. You were an institute for starting the stage. But the big title has been elusive to you. But you got 3 Arnold Classic titles to your credit, including this year's. You're the reigning defending champion. The title came up for grabs this year as Jen Dory, your incumbent champion, decided to take the year off, so that left it wide open for a brand new champion. Everybody kept saying, "What are these due? What are these due?" Did you think you were due?
I think I came into the sport just working for that. So was I due? Every year I think I was, but the difference this year was just trust and faith. So I came in very peaceful, and I just trusted the process, and I trusted myself, my abilities. So that's why I was so calm, and trust the timing of the universe, God, and it happened at the right time.
Well, we don't get too many years that we have the same champ that has an Arnold Classic championship and an Olympia championship. So congratulations for an outstanding year. You started the season off with a victory, and now you're finishing the season off with a victory. This was a big victory, and you were Mr. Bikini Olympia. How's that sound to you when you heard that? Is it sinking in, or is it going to take a few?
I don't know. I've been a bridesmaid for a long time. I've been top 5 for a long time, and now I feel like I'm a bride. I'm like getting all the butterflies and everything, so I'm just trying to be present. And this battle right now is giving me so much inspiration, and I can't believe I'm here, standing with this amazing panel right now. So just trying to be filling those shoes up.
Well, you filled the shoes up pretty good. The judges loved what they saw. The fans have always loved it. We were center stage last night. We talked about being center stage for many years, but you forgot your speech. Those damn bikinis, like I mentioned, they don't have pockets. You got nothing. You got nowhere to put loose change or your keys or anything right there. But you didn't need a written speech. I mean, your speech was fantastic. It was from the heart. It was on the spot. And it was against the brand new champion. I thought you did great.
Well, thank you. Thank you. It was a hit or miss, you know. It's either going to be my best speech or my worst speech, but it's always from the heart. I have so much love for the sport. I'm so thankful for all the opportunities to just have, you know, my dream of like 17 years old self. She would be so proud right now, so I'm just happy.
One more question, I don't even know if photo shoot you're going to get to with Jan, but does this change the scope of your career going forward now? So do you go back in the arm on a junior Olympia champ, or does that change up the landscape a little bit? Do you want to put that up on the line, or do we just see you defending the title next year? Any plans on your course of action?
This will be a good discussion to have with my team, my coach, my trainer, and people around me. But right now, I just want to step into this Miss Olympia title wholeheartedly and take this responsibility as Miss Olympia. But yes, I have plans to compete and be back, obviously, at the Olympia stage in 2025 for my title, and then we'll see in the in-between that too.
Good up to your new bikini champion.
Yes, sir.
Nah, it's gotta be microphone. Anybody get any of this stuff? Anybody awake out there? Starbucks phone, man. They ran out of Celsius. What happened? That's all right. Cindy Gillon.
Yeah.
On-off switch. You got everything here, dude. Should be at the bottom there. So how you guys do that? You just nailed it.
Things like you're.
There we go. Cindy Gillon. Can I even say 8 straight titles in the figure division? You have ruled for the better part of a decade. I know we talked many, many times in that center square on the Olympia stage. You always contended. I want 10. And 10's good. It's a nice round number. I got the whole decade covered here, but you threw me a curveball last night. I don't think anybody was expecting you to retire. I mean, again, the greater saves you go out, just like Chris did. Good timing, if that's what you want to do. But what made you kind of rethink? I know you're the busiest person I've ever met with all your degrees. And every time I turn around, you got another master's degree or another business you started. But what made you finally decide to say, you know what, I think I'm good here. Time to move on to other things.
It was a family discussion to kind of, a lot of things have been falling in my lap. And so there always comes a point where you have to reassess your inventory and say, hey, maybe now is the best time because the amount of things that are coming my way are bigger than I can imagine. And when I have my Olympia title at risk, I give 150% every single day, all year long, to make sure that I am prepared for my title and to retain it. So if those opportunities are coming up, it's like I want to be able to dive fully into them. And so about 6 weeks out, one of those opportunities popped up and I was like, talked to my family, I was like, hey, I think this year might be it. Because originally I wanted 8 and then I switched to 10, but then if I go to 10, I know me, I need to go to 11. And I'm like, nah, we're not gonna just keep going that much because I have so many things to offer. And I think the key thing for me is always telling people, I am a person who bodybuilds, I'm not a bodybuilder. I have those degrees for reasons. I have those businesses for a reason, and I am more than that. So I want to make sure I'm pouring into those other aspects of my life as well to make sure that people know that there is life outside of the sport as well, but also being able to pull from those sectors and pull them into bodybuilding so that they can see that we do have brains, we can think for ourselves and we're more than just jobs. So that made a big difference for me this year.
Yeah, being as busy as you are with all the things that you got going on, including your own preps, you found time to help a fellow Olympian in your preps and getting ready. But I don't know how you do it, but somehow you get it done. But I was kind of, I mean, listen, you've not been an Olympian in years, you know, so yeah, we're going back some time now. But I mean, I know you're enjoying the moment right now, and that's all great. I thought it was a great move through the clock on top.
That's right.
Control your own destiny. You know, it's harder and harder as you go. I know both of you have nothing but the utmost respect for Linda Murray, for Iris Kyle, for Ronnie Coleman. Anytime you can put 8 on the board, I mean, that's just absolutely spectacular. But where do you go from here? Again, I know you got a whole lot of things going on, including a competition that you produce. So really 2 competitions.
2 competitions, yes. I just opened the registration.
Another show. Look at that.
I opened the registration for both of those. So Triple O Dynasty is our pro show that we had to replace one of the shows that took out women's bodybuilding, women's physique, and women's figure. So I created a show, pulled in Andrea Shaw, pulled in Whitney Jones, and it's now called the Triple O Dynasty. And so we've been working throughout this year, and now we have the second highest prize money for the figure category at $9,000 for first prize in April. So that's what I'm pouring into. For me, the titles are great, but I am such a giver. In my place, in my happiness, is making sure that those who are behind me have the joys that I have. And I want to continue to build, especially for the figure category, but also for my women's bodybuilders who were the start of all of this. And so for me, that's empowering, and that's where I find my happiness. And I'm able to give more when I'm not on the stage, because 100% of me goes to the stage, but now I want to transition to that. Ladies like Andrea Shaw, I can give more to my clients, give more to the people behind me, so that we continue to grow this sport and we pull more athletes in and show what women empowerment looks like and how we show up for others.
So much like Chris Bumstead, it doesn't sound like you're going anywhere. Not that you get paid anymore, but you'll be involved and as active as ever. Give it up for Cindy Gillon, one of the best. I want to go to Missy Truscott. Missy, you actually happen to have my favorite story. You always got these other stories like one at the Olympia. Yours is my favorite because most people know last year we were on the Olympia stage and you kind of came my side and doing some nice tumble pants and boom. The second you hit it, I went, she's hurt. I could just see it. I saw it on your face. You know, you were 10 feet from me, so I kind of shot over there to kind of grab your hand, and you were in a whole different world of, what? Just, hey, let me look in your face and what happened? And, you know, we got some help out there for you, but you ended up blowing out a knee pretty good. But that is no way for a champion to go out on the Olympia stage. But to come back from what you came back from, everybody's been following her Instagram stories. As you posted pretty much everything from the surgery right on. Fantastic. What a testament to the spirit of the athletes. There was no better fire that can be lit under you than an injury that's going to dictate to you that you're done. And you said, no, I will dictate when I'm done. You took 10 months to rehab it. Just getting back on the Olympia stage would have been pretty cool. But you got back and you actually won another title. It's your 3rd Olympia title, is that correct?
Right, yes.
Missy, congratulations.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you, guys. I've been dreaming of this moment for the last 10 months. Obviously, it was a devastating injury, and in that moment, I thought, man, I might never be able to do fitness again. My husband has been super supportive this entire time. I had to take a lot of time for myself to rehab this injury. You know, being in deficit with the diet and trying to grow back my leg and get that strength. With fitness, practice makes perfect. I wasn't able to practice those fitness skills like I usually do. So that kind of messed with my confidence a bit. But I really found inspiration through Peyton Manning. He had a really serious neck injury back in the day where it could have been career ending. He couldn't throw those deep passes anymore, and he had to change his game. So that's something I had to do. I had to change my game. You guys saw in my routine that I wasn't doing that mega tumbling passes, but I switched it to more powerful handstand moves, the holds that the judges like to see. So I'm just super proud of myself. I had
no expectations coming into this Olympia. I just wanted to get back on stage for me, for my husband, my team, just to prove that like I could do it, you know? It wasn't about the placing, it was about just getting back on stage. But obviously it's very sweet that I did win and I'm super thankful. And yeah, it's just a blessing.
Football player as your inspiration, but did you ever consider young Omaha when you were on stage?
Well, actually, sorry, Adela Garcia too. She had a similar injury as well.
Adela has never yelled out the word Omaha.
Sorry.
I've never heard it. It's possible, but Adela's a great inspiration with a whole bunch of titles herself on the Olympia stage. But and Whitney jumped in. I mean, I know you guys are all pretty tight in the circle, but she's overcome injury and changed up that routine and all that to get herself another Olympian victory. So not a bad blueprint in front of you.
Yeah, you know, I'm very, very blessed to have some amazing women to like look up to, but I definitely have to give a huge shout out to my girl Adela Garcia. She has just been such a rock through this whole experience. Again, similar injury. She was always there for me, phone call, giving me those pep talks, and I'm very grateful for her friendship.
All right, give it up for Missy Truscott, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Inspirational story.
Thank you.
Keo, what's up, buddy?
Yeah.
How you doing, Bob?
Love that change, man. That's a custom piece right there. I can
Yeah,
tell.
custom for freedom.
That's great, man. I love it.
Thank
Sharp,
you.
sharp looking, but not as sharp as you were on the Olympia stage. Just to prove it wasn't a fluke, you were now two-time Olympia champion, Keo.
Yes, sir. Well deserved.
I know that was very important to hear those words on stage because, listen, Sean Clarita is a hell of an athlete. You guys came out last year, boom, you were in the winner's circle. But just like everybody else, you got to deal with the naysayers online. Oh, it's a fluke. He'll never do it again. It's the only one because Sean was off, right? Sean comes back on, it's over. But you blocked out the noise, you only concentrated on yourself, and you were better this year than last year, my friend.
That's right.
Thank you so much, Bob. The mindset I had going into this year was to still maintain an underdog mindset. And also when we started prep my fiance, which I got engaged when I was 5 weeks out from this prep. So she's not here right now, but I love you, Amanda.
Congratulations.
So yeah, it was the mindset of like I never won a trophy, I haven't won anything. And that what kept me hungry the whole entire 18 weeks out. As soon as I got on that Stairmaster 18 weeks out, is I never won anything. I want that title. I know winning the first one was great, but honestly, I still wasn't happy. I wasn't satisfied. I knew I needed to really make a statement this year to let the world know that I am here to stay, and I can do this over and over and over and over again, and I can be better. And we did that, and it feels amazing, and the work is still not done yet. I'm already talking about when I'm already ready to go back into the gym and train starting Monday.
So like any true bodybuilder, that's what we do, right? You get in the gym, we train, that's what we love doing. Competing is obviously an offshoot of that, but you had Flex Lewis that was out there in attendance this year, 7-time 212 champ. Sean Clarita, he's got a few titles under his belt. You've now got 2 titles under your belt. If you get the same question everybody else says, it's gotta drive you nuts. No matter how good you do, no matter how many Olympians you win, the next question comes. Chris knows all about this. Are you gonna go to the Open?
The answer is no, I am not going to Open. Like I said during the press conference, nowadays, especially with social media, everybody wants to push you to do things and go further than what you want to do. Just stick to your goal and your plan and make sure you have a solid team behind you. Don't let social media push you to be this person that you don't want to be.
That's right.
So stick to your script, stick to your plan, just follow that, block the noise out.
Well said.
Listen, you might do very well in the Open. I thought Flex Lewis might have done well in the Open, but much like Flex, when I used to ask him the same thing, he's like, why would I want to go to the Open when I'm the best in the world? And what I do, when he was 5, 6-time, 7-time champion, Chris Bumstead, same thing. You're the best in the world. You've amassed the most fans in human history at 86 million now, or whatever you're at. But again, you're the 5-time champ, now 6-time champ. None of these athletes, we all have one thing in common in the world of bodybuilding. Every single pro bodybuilder on this earth has one thing and only one thing in common. Not one of us ever got into this business for the money. Right? As you can see, the head's nodding. Listen, this isn't the NFL, this ain't the UFC, this isn't professional baseball. Nobody's signing contracts of, $20 million bump Chris does, but you know, that's him. But, so Kia, congratulations, enjoy that second victory, my friend.
Thank you so much.
And continue the improvements. Again, I saw that video you put out a week or two ago, and I was like, oh, it's going to be tough to beat, man. I thought you looked better in that video than you did last year, not to take away from last year's victory, but the improvements you made the year as the champ have been startling.
Thank you so much. Like I said, as soon as we came up to the stage last year, we went straight to work. My girlfriend, well, I'm sorry, I'm so used to the same girlfriend, my fiance, she made the program, trained the training program, and we went straight to work. And yes, my fiance, that's all my training. We train together. We've been training together every day for 2 years straight and never missed a session.
I'd be worried about getting put out of business. We got the spouses are taking over. He's got his fiance.
Let's go, Samson.
Right, Sarah's got her husband Ali. I mean, you know, the spouses are taking over, but they know you better than anybody, right?
That's
so
right.
as long as you got what's willing to craft the whip, it sounds like you're doing all right, my friend. Congratulations again.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody.
All right, let me come to this end. You talk about redemption. We got to talk about this man right here. He is Harold King Kong Kelley.
Yes, sir.
So you got 6 of these now, right, Harold? I always lose track here. You got so many victories. I think it was 22. Correct? Well, 23 now with this victory.
Wow.
Already. Every time I turn around, you got another title. Grab that microphone right there next to Ryan. Harold, congratulations again for you. It was also about redemption in a different way. You have ruled this division since it started up, since Nick Scott. It's right down here, my friend. Nick, appreciate what you do for the wheelchair. Nick Scott, your wheelchair chairman. Without his efforts, none of these guys would be here. But Harold, again, you just couldn't be beat, man. You were just absolutely killing it for year after year after year until last year. And all of a sudden, much like Andrea, you find yourself in uncharted waters in a not winning position. All of a sudden, it wasn't your name that was called out. And that lit a fire underneath you, didn't it?
Oh, yeah. It meant a lot. That loss, it put things back in perspective, really. Even in 22, when I lost the Arnold, when you look at yourself and you take an L, it's how you swallow that L. And that L always done in the right way, put you back where you need to be.
Well, that it does. I mean, nothing will give you any more incentive than losing when you're a professional athlete, that is for sure. But what was the reason? I mean, was it your own letdown, like Andrea has mentioned in previous interviews? Sometimes it's easy to get complacent when you just go out there and you just keep winning. And, maybe you tend to take things for granted or, listen, nobody works harder than somebody climbing the mountain, right? Trying to get that title. Hanging on to it is a whole lot tougher, isn't it, right? So did you find yourself in that position where you just felt yourself like you kind of let off the gas a little bit? Or did the competition just get that much better?
Well, a little different direction with me. I'm 53 years old. Okay, so with family, businesses that we was running, and then launched a random business trying to get ready for another show, and being that minister at launch, I had to be there myself and act all the straddle events in regards to not having all the boxes checked, like she said. So when you won 5, you figure, okay, I can do this, I can do that, I can do this, and I wasn't laser focused. So if you're not laser focused on what you need to be doing and put your mind direction and everything in that box to that direction, you can miss something in there. You may come in there 85%, 90%, or 80 or 90% across all the things that you're doing, instead of being 100% in that direction.
And let me say this, you might have gotten away with that a few years ago, but with the talent level that's come up, and again, Nick, congratulations on a great year. You had 12 athletes up there this year in the wheelchair division from all over the world, but you can see that bar has been raised significantly over the last few years where you've got some real talent up there now.
Yeah.
I mean, you used to go out there and it was just kind of over. It's like, oh, there's Harold again, another victory, here we go. You had to find a fight and work for this one, but you came back in grand fashion. It's the old Harold that we were all looking for, and all of a sudden King Kong is back in the winner's circle.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Anyway, Rick, I gotta ask, well, 2 things of significance. Number one, unless I'm mistaken, and I don't believe I am, there's another record that you have broken, and that is you're the oldest Olympian in history. I don't think anybody's even close. I think Chris Dickerson, I believe in the men's, Chris Dickerson was at 43 or something like that when he won the Olympia way back in the day. I'm sure one of the historians over here will correct me. 1982. Of course, you knew that. But I don't think anybody's even been close to the 50s on the Olympics. I didn't even know you were that old, Harold. But
Oh yeah.
you were still killing it. You're killing it, man. So, Harold, congratulations. Now, where do you go from here? You've got 6. You keep going. At 53, you got other stuff kind of kicking around. You're just gonna kind of keep going with it.
Not sure yet. You know, when I get finished, I take all this in first before making a decision. Talk to my wife, my team, and again, my.
You got to include the wife, please.
Yeah. Well, the same thing I was telling. Samson. You know, in regards to my wife getting ready, I said, well, I never had a coach. I literally never had a coach. Me and my wife did this since we began. Since the accident in 2007, my wife and I got myself together at every show.
Yeah, you got a good coach and a good wife. Harold, congratulations. Great to see you back in the winner's circle. Oldest ever Olympian. 6-time Olympian champion. 23 victories in his career. Give it up for King Kong Kelley. All right, Ryan.
Yes, sir.
Looking good, man. Once again, bro, you went out there, you hit the Superman pose. You had to work a little bit this year, but I tell you, man, that pose is an absolute killer. All you're missing is a red cape behind you.
No, thank you both. I appreciate that.
You know, much like Samson, I remember meeting you, UK, some years ago when we ventured over there with the NBC Worldwide. And you were already a competitor. You were a top competitor. You're not a new guy on the block. You've been here 11 years now, I think this is, right?
Yeah, so this is my 10th Olympia. I've been competing here 12 years.
10th Olympia, and up until last year, you actually placed in every single spot that there is up until number 1.
Yeah.
You finally checked that box off last year, so now we got a whole new set of boxes, and you checked off that number 1 spot again. Congratulations now, 2-time men's physique Olympia.
Thank you guys. I appreciate that.
You know, you're another one kind of like you're like Sydney's male counterpart. You're so busy with the business of bodybuilding and business in general. You've got gyms you go to, you've got business ventures, and then you find time to get yourself on stage and get ready for the Olympia. Is that just the way it is? I mean, between family life and business life and your competitive career, you just seem to prefer to be busy.
Yeah, I've always been someone who likes to work hard, but then I feel like I function better in chaos. So I need that kind of in my life. So my wife is in the crowd just despairing of me because every year I have to find a project or something new to do just to add more pressure to it.
Is she your trainer too?
No, she's not my trainer now.
You should probably think about hiring her. I'm just saying. Seems to be the way to go. Well, you seem to be doing good with what you're doing right now, so I'm kind of just stick with it. Don't change a thing. What did you think about the competition this year, Ryan? And every year you've got numerous champions up there. This year was absolutely no exception. You had Eric Banks on one side here, and it didn't seem to get any easier as you were going. But once again, your overall flow in physique, you know, everybody thinks men's physique is just an upper body contest, and it couldn't be further. You've actually got some wheels underneath those trucks.
Yeah, they always say about men's physique, don't train legs, but that's the thing of the past now. I've always loved bodybuilding. I've been training for 21 years. I used to train with open class bodybuilders my whole life, so you can't not train legs, obviously. Physique is very balanced up and down.
Well, let's talk about that for a second, because I think the biggest misnomer in the industry is that this is still 8-10 years ago. 8-10 years ago, they had the big baggy, the board shorts. Right? That has evolved greatly. Where the shorts you guys got now are not the old board shorts. They're not big and baggy. They're not hiding nothing. They're tight. They're form-fitting. They've got a little bit shorter over the years. But I thought the difference between you and Ali Bilal was an excellent newcomer, by the way.
Phenomenal, yeah.
What a great competitor, man. His upper body was right there with yours. But I actually think, and again, I'll get stuff online about this, but this is the absolute truth. They are looking at the entire body in men's physique. It's not just an upper body contest. They're looking at the whole body in silhouette. I actually thought you won the contest because of the legs. Your legs match your upper body. They're not small at all. You can see you got some. You actually hiked those up over here in their shoulder. I got lines here, people. You don't want me coming for that sand up.
Yeah, we're not quite going for the sand now, but yeah, no, it's nice to see the way the division's gone now. Because obviously, like in the early days, we did get ridiculed quite a lot because there was just baggy shorts and we were looking at just the top half. So it's nice to see where it's evolved to, and also, yeah, you can't just have one part of the physique now, which is a standout. And I think before everyone was chasing the size or some sort of one part of the physique, whereas it's not like that now. It's like in every division, it has to be balanced throughout, which has definitely suited me a lot better now in the last 2 years.
Well, Ryan, we don't want to put you on the spot, but where do you go from here? You've got 2 titles under your belt now. Well, like you said, you're not a newcomer to this. You've been at this a while, like Sydney and some of our other Olympians. Obviously you're going to enjoy this victory on the spot, but any thought to the future? Is this something you're going to just keep riding it as long as you're winning, or any thought to I want to go out on top, or you got a different plan?
Yeah, obviously I don't want to be a guy who just lingers on. I don't want to be that person that, oh come on, let's move him on. You've been here a long time now. But equally, I live and breathe bodybuilding. I love the sport. 365 days of the year, I'm immersed in it. So, whenever I'm enjoying it, and it's not affecting my social life with my kids, I've got a 4-year-old and a 1-year-old, and as long as I'm still being able to provide for my family, and we're enjoying it, I'd like to keep going. We did talk about it in previous years, obviously placing 8th, 7th, 6th, 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd. It was kind of getting to a point that, have I missed my peak? Am I actually ever going to win the title? So we did toy with the idea of retiring in the last couple of years, but after winning last year, I've had such like a whole new lease of life on it, and I just feel like a young athlete going through it again. I'm 35 now, and some of the guys I'm up against are in their 40s and stuff going. Don't get me wrong, I can see my wife, okay, I'm not doing that for that long, but there's still life in me, and whenever I'm enjoying it, I'm going to keep riding it.
Well, one thing I can say for sure is you started the trend last year, and I've noticed it as well in the competitions I do around the world. Until you came out with that front pose, boom, front and center, Superman, hands on hips. Rarely have I actually seen it. Ever since you won the title, about half the guys now come out and do that pose.
Yeah.
We're just going to name it the Ryan Terry pose.
We should try that, yeah, let's see if we can get a trend going. It's not the Superman pose anymore.
Yeah, it needs to be the Ryan Terry pose.
Terry pose.
I like the T on your chest. But it's interesting to see that it kind of started that trend now where people think, you know what, I'm going to kind of do that thing. But unfortunately, for about half of them, it's not in their best interest. Not everybody can hit that pose.
Right.
You have to be built a certain way
to hit that
to
pose.
be that bold to just go out there straight on. Everybody's got the twist. They want to make their waist look small, but man, you look just.
But that's kind of what I think the division should be. I think not try and hide anything. Like try not hide your flaws and just showcase symmetry and proportion by hitting it from the shot. So I feel if you do go to the side or if you're twisting the torso slightly, it's trying to give the illusion of a more tapered waist and it's trying to hide flaws. So I feel like we should all stand straight on and go for it.
Well, it's actually supposed to be the way it is in the rule book, but obviously everything's been kind of tweaked over the years, and it's evolved, if you want to call it that. I think it's been a good evolution, but Ryan, just continue to do what you do, man. You look great, and you're now 2-time Men's Physique Olympia champion.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Certainly no less. We got a new wellness champion. Wow. Isabelle Nunes. Congratulations, you did the unthinkable. We haven't even had a different champ other than Franciella Mantos since its inception 3 years ago. She's been our only Olympia winner. Everybody thought she couldn't be beat. Everybody gave you guys credit. Great competition, but you just can't beat Franciella, but you did it. You finally did it. You guys have competed a whole lot together. This time it went your way. Congratulations to you, Olympia champion.
Thank you so much, Bob. I've been doing this for a long time. My first Olympia I got 3rd place. My second Olympia I got 2nd place. The last year I got 2nd place again for 1 point. And finally this year I win my first Olympia. This is a dream for me because I've been wellness for almost 9 years, and winning the Olympia is the biggest dream of my life. And this year was hard because I couldn't show my best on stage in Arnold, Ohio. My father passed away 12 days before the competition.
Wow.
So my body was bad. My mind was bad. After Arnold, I took a time to take care of my health, my mind. So I did an amazing work with my team for the Olympia, and I could show my best in Friday. So I'm feeling so happy, so grateful because I didn't give up.
We were right here on this stage for the press conference, and you girls came out, and I know you guys are all friends, you know, everybody's very close in the sport. I know sometimes it doesn't look like that, but many of the athletes are very close, and they actually help each other out sometimes. But you guys have competed for 3-4 years now together. And Franciella was very adamant, you were not going to beat her. She kept going back and forth, it ain't happening, you guys ain't beating me, I'm going to win this again. And you're all confident. But how did you feel when you actually got on stage and the comparisons were going? Did you think, I got a chance, I think I'm in the lead, or I think Franciella's in there? What were your thoughts about how the competition was going?
I was confident because I did an amazing work during my prep. I improved a lot, the point, for example, my glutes, my waist, my routine. So I was confident because, let me see. I knew I could win.
So you felt pretty good in the prejudging as it was going on and the call-outs were going on. And you had another challenger who's undefeated in her last 6. She's brand new to the Olympia stage, but Eduarda looked absolutely phenomenal. And all of you, I mean, it's so close with you girls. It's so close. The judges have a very tough job in their hands. They don't get enough credit for doing what they do because it is difficult. This is the Olympia, folks. I mean, listen, with all due respect to other shows, this is the best of the best, right? Everybody up there wants something to get on this stage. So the qualifications is not easy. They're all grand champions, but this is it. This is the Olympia, the best of the best. So yeah, you had your work cut out for you, but you were confident in what you brought. And how did it feel to have your name announced as the winner?
Yes, this year was a great lineup. Amazing athletes, maybe 37 on stage. Top 5 was amazing. Now I'm feeling so happy. My goal for now is to represent wellness category around the world the best way because this is a dream for me. To be here today is a dream for me. So now I will keep going, I will keep improve my body, my mind, because I love this sport, but it will save my life, and that's it.
Well, let me ask you this. You're now the champion, you're an Olympia champion. Does that change your plans going forward? Traditionally, a lot of you girls do compete in other competitions, but it changes when you're the champion. Because all the champions they say, okay, I'm the Olympia champ, I'm going to take the year, I don't normally get that, because you got to requalify. So are we going to see you on stage this coming year, or are you just going to defend the title at next year's Olympia?
Yes, of course, next year I will be here again. But
will you compete throughout the year? Like will we see you at the Arnold or another, or Pittsburgh or another show?
Yes, I would like to compete in Arnold, Ohio, because this show is very special for me. I was the first world champion in Arnold, Ohio. This year I couldn't show my best, so I want to get my title again next year.
Sign of a true champion. Give it up for your new wellness champion. All right, Samson. You're also a man that's been very busy on the circuit, not afraid to put yourself out there. We saw you at the Arnold, we saw you in the UK, we saw you in France. So obviously this landscape has changed dramatically for you over the last 24 hours as you are Mr. Olympia now. Does that change your mindset in terms of, okay, now hang on, I gotta get with the coach here. I gotta get with the wife. I should be asking you this question. Why am I asking you anything? Does this change where you're going forward now? Will we see you at an Arnold or pants or any other show, or you do something that you haven't been able to do your entire career, which is take a year and take that break and not have to get ready for preps and now defend your title next year. Which way are you going, champ?
Well, like I said, I think I said it as a press conference.
Yeah, you said it. Always say
I'm never going to be a one-show guy.
That's right.
I'm never going to sit out.
Yes, sir.
And, you know, just disappear all year and just only see me at Olympia. I'm always going to travel. I'm always going to do everything I can to give back to the sport that's given me so much.
That's right.
And as for the Arnold Classic,
I'll be there.
you guys believe I'm going to be on that stage?
Yes, sir!
I got to applaud that because that doesn't happen a whole lot for those who've been following the bodybuilding
That's
scene.
true. That's true.
We have had champions, Ronnie Coleman, many years ago did it, but he actually cut his record. They said it almost cost him the championship. But I got to appreciate any champion that can put that on the line and go, you know what, I'm here, come and get me. What did you think about the competition yourself? And you've never beaten Hottie and you've never beaten Derek, but you beat them both last night. As the prejudging was going on and you saw the comparisons and you saw the guys obviously right there next to you, what did you think? Did you think, I'm in the mix, I got a shot, or I'm beating these guys?
I mean, we went through it last year, and for me, last year was the very first time I was being compared to them on the Olympic stage. And we knew how ahead they were to us, and we knew we had a lot of work to do. So I think it was about a few months later, I went up against Hottie and Arnold, closed the gap a little bit, but Hottie's a hell of a competitor, man. He's just an animal. And every single time I would say, look, we keep getting closer, that's all we gotta do.
Yeah.
And we took some months off, went back to Brentwood, trained hard, and eventually this year, at Olympia stage, the biggest stage of them all, I finally get past those two guys. So now I say, you know what, that hunger is still there, and I haven't started to get satisfied yet. So going to the Arnold now, that hunger is just gonna get bigger. And yeah, I welcome them guys to jump with me and come to meet me in the Arnold stage, and let's do this again.
Gotta like that. Samson, take you back to that moment. You're in the center. Hottie's in the center. Here comes the big announcement. Boom, you're here. Your name is new Olympia champion. What went through your mind? I saw you hit the deck, Ronnie Coleman style. You landed in the blink of an eye. Just when you were down for the count, William Bodak came in like a defensive end out of the Chicago and tackled you right in the center of the stage. What was going on? The place was coming down on you.
I mean, William has always been building on this a lot longer than all of us. And he's always been, I remember my first pro show, he gave me advice. And he's always been there to always support me and so give me advice to show me, keep my head on my shoulders the whole time. So even at this show, he was there telling me, come on bro, keep your chin up, you got this, you did this, keep going. So once I won, it wasn't a surprise that he was the first guy to come over and say, and just be as happy as I am about it. First I went down, I was like, what the hell just landed on me? But you know what, you're so caught up in emotion and time and you just in disbelief in what just happened. And to have the guys there to celebrate with me,
Yeah.
Got it, Samson. Andrea Shaw, Rising Phoenix this year, or you're back in the similar position where it's like, yeah, maybe I'll just kind of ride this one out and do the Olympia next year, or do you go right back in and go, come at me, man, here I am.
The Rising Phoenix for me is just as important as the Olympia. I will always continue to do that show. It's very meaningful because it kept my division alive. So it's my way of always giving back to the organization to show my gratitude, but it's also my testing ground. So I am certain that Damien has a plan. I will be back out to Arizona and executing on that plan. And I'll get a chance to have Sid even though she won't be there, but I'll be able to have her to really coach me leading into the Rising Phoenix because we have some unfinished business. So yeah, I will be there, God willing, and I'm going to be successful in making sure that we evaluate what this new plan looks like because that will show us what direction we want to take thereafter leading into next year's Olympia.
You want to have some incentive, right? Even though you're an Olympia champion, you're actually not the Rising Phoenix champion right now, right? So you got a little, like you said, you got a little unfinished business because you want, listen, you're greedy, right? Like all pro bodybuilders are. That's what we want. We want titles and food. Lots and lots of food.
But again, I like to tell people, this is our version of the Arnold. because it's that important. And for me, it's even more important because the Rising Phoenix always gives me a very clear path to follow for the Olympia. So again, Jake Wood and Alex Acosta do a great job putting on that show. It's an opportunity for me to get in front of Sandy so that Sandy can give me any feedback. Tyler's always watching. And I thank them for that because without their feedback, we need direction. And again, if this is going to be a sport where we're continuing to evolve, you have to show up and play. You have to show up and play, and you have to be ready to take the action on the information that you've been given.
That's right. That's right.
Be there.
Folks, while we've been sitting here for the last hour, another Olympian record has been broken. Chris Bumstead has amassed another 2 million followers since we started at 12 o'clock. Chris, congratulations. All right, we've got a few questions from the audience. Oh, that hand went up quick. Yes. Yeah, come on up. What's up, George? Your boy did good, man. Second place. George Farrell, one of the greatest trainers in the world. Losing his job to all the wives out here lately. They're being replaced. Come on up. He'll be okay. Yes, got a question for the champs.
Hi, I have a question for Chris. Hello, my name is April, and so first, big congratulations. And I'm just wondering, what is the most important thing that you think you grow from this 6 year, and it's gonna influence the rest of your life?
What's the most important thing you've taken away from your sixth victory, Chris?
Yeah, tough question. I would say just understanding in life what's truly important to you. We work hard for a lot of things, and we have a lot of external and internal motivations, and bodybuilding is a rather selfish sport. It's an external motivation, and there's a lot of internal things I get from it, but over the years, I've grown a lot from the sport. And in the last year, since having a daughter and a family now, my perspective has changed a lot of what's most important to me. I've had a lot of amazing victories up here on stage, and I have a lot of beautiful things in my life, and sometimes more isn't always more. I've been able to enjoy this journey and to have something else in my life that I understand is truly important to me, that fills my heart with so much more joy, like my family, my relationships, my connection with my wife and everything. That's truly all that matters to me. And being able to walk away from something as beautiful as being the best in the world for 6 years with no fear of leaving anything behind, because your heart is so much full in other areas, and knowing what's truly important to me, I think that's the greatest lesson I could have learned. There's been a lot of times over the past few years where I was stressed, and this year, being able to come home and look at my daughter smiling and just alleviate all that stress, because it doesn't matter. As long as I have my family and they're happy, I have everything. So it's just put life into perspective, I guess. I've always been a family man. It's what's most important to me, and it's been a privilege to be up here for 6 years, but, winning isn't everything. It's about the journey. It's about who you become along the way. It's about the relationships and the people that you get to share that journey with as well.
There you go. Thanks for your question. You got more. Hey, you're just taking my turn.
Thank you so much, and I think you made me a legend, and you are a legend. You're, oh my God, I'm so excited. Sorry. You're really important to me, and also the whole bodybuilding industry for sure. And I just have a little request. Can I have a signature on my belt, please?
Oh yeah,
and can I take a picture with you?
Oh, yeah, you have it.
They're going to be here afterwards, so make sure to make yourself up to Chris, and they'll be able to get you a signature.
I actually have to run quick, so I'll do it right after.
Oh, there you go.
All right.
Oh, there we go. Well, I couldn't have done that, that's for sure. Those days are gone. All right, Bob, they're taking care of business. Yes, my young friend, come on over here. Yes, sir, you got a question for one of our Olympians.
Yes, I just want to say congratulations and thank you to all of you for putting on such an amazing show. I just have 2 questions. Samson, is the Sandow going to get a ride in the McLaren?
That's a good question.
That's a very funny question.
Man, I don't even know if it's never been fit. But nah, this one, I think this one, my wife's probably gonna carry this one. I know she's gonna be excited about this. She's already been eyeing that house since I got here, so yeah, definitely gonna be there.
And for all of you, how do you keep your championship mindset?
That's a good question, Missy. How do you keep a championship mindset when you've got adversity, like a career-ending injury that would have taken almost anybody else out? Was there anything that you did mentally to keep yourself in that zone?
So for me personally, I had to kind of disconnect a little bit from social media because, you know, we put our lives out there and everything, and people are always going to have opinions on you. So I just had to go inward and really just focus on myself, and that's kind of how I was able to stay focused and keep that championship mentality.
Sarah, same question. You've now had, again, you've won the title, lost the title, won it back, now defended it. What do you have to do to prepare yourself? Is it different when you lose versus when you're defending?
It definitely can be different once you experience defeat. Everything is really easy when it's easy, when you're winning, when it's fun, and when you're just having a great time. But really, those moments when you are tested, not just on the daily workout, but when you're tested on the world stage and you experience defeat, you experience loss, and just reminding yourself that you are capable, that you're willing, you've done it before, and so that a little setback is nothing that's big enough to keep you from continuing to go. And so just remember why you started, and to cherish all the happy milestones along the way, along with some of the not so happy moments.
There you go. Thanks for the question. All right, who we got? Questions? Yes, sir. Hang on. Hang on, everybody. Yes, sir. Question for you, sir.
So, when you were getting second to Franciale, did you ever think anybody from 3rd to 15 could have been a threat to you, or maybe overtake you? Or you were just focused on you're going to win and that you're going to eventually get the title?
Do you focus on any of the other competitors or just yourself?
Just myself. I'm my biggest opponent because I don't have control about other athletes. I have control about my workouts, my diet, my goals. That's it.
There you go. Yes, sir. Statement and a question.
And forgive me, my voice is shot from screaming for all you guys the past couple of days. But I think everybody would agree that Samson is one of the best ambassadors for the sport of bodybuilding.
There ain't no argument there. Samson's always been a great speaker and a great motivator, and now will be a great champion.
That's right, and he's always the last guy to leave. He's going to be there, he's going to get the picture with you. So I think that was evident by one thing last night. You're the people's champion. How does that feel being not only selected by the judges, but by all the people in the world?
Thank you. Great question, Samson. People's Champ Award, it doesn't always go to the champion. We've had it where it's gone to somebody else, but your popularity has increased this year, my friend. The people got it right.
You know, honestly, that award, when they called me out for that one meant a lot to me. Because I've always thought, like, look, this sport gave me a lot. You guys have supported me from the few years ago when you all saw me running the spot in a hotel room in quarantine in South Korea and not being able to make it to Olympia. You've showed me support all the way. You've told me time and time again, keep your head up, let's see what you do. We know you're working hard. And I just want to do my best and give back to people that have always been there for me and always told me, you know what, we see you, keep doing what you do, we're behind you. So for me, you know, being able to stand out there and meet every single person that's in that line that queued up for hours and hours and hours just to get a picture with me, that's literally the least I can do. So thank you guys so much for all the support you did to me.
Thank you, Samson. Yes, sir.
I have two questions. One for Samson. After 25 years, you bring back that trophy to UK. So what are your feelings? And my man Ryan, what? Keep the mindset after a long time competing, you know, fighting with the youngsters. You know?
I appreciate that. Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Ryan, how was it? Has the mindset changed over the years? Now that you're the elder in the room and you got some guys in their 20s.
Be careful, Bob.
I'm old, that's all.
Yeah, now I think my mindset changed when I became a dad. When I became a father, the whole purpose, my whole why became very different. So before then, it was bodybuilding is a selfish sport, and I was chasing titles and I wanted to be the best in the world for me, for my own self-gratification. When my kids came along, everything changed, and I want to make them proud. And I know that sounds cheesy, but I want them to look up to me. I want them to be proud of their dad. So that's given me a whole new lease of life. So the last 2 years, winning my Arnold titles and winning the 2 Olympias has been them watching, and for me, that's what keeps me motivated and grinding. So these young guns can come through, but it's not happening just yet.
Thank you, Ryan. Samson, you feel
Thank you.
You feel like a sense of country pride, and not just a shadow, as it's been in the UK. It's been all over there. It's taken a tour around the world in Egypt and Iran, America, of course, and now the UK.
I mean, you can't imagine what that feels like. The last Mr. Olympia from the UK is obviously the great Dorian Yates. That was 1997, and no one in the UK has even come close since. So to be the second man from the UK to win it after 25 years, I mean, that really feels good.
Where were you in 1997 when Dorian was king? What were you doing, Samson?
I think I was still living in Nigeria at that point. I didn't even know what bodybuilding is. Well, so, you know, imagine, going back and watching the history of the sport and watching all the winners and following the sport and going through it and seeing all the champions that it's had and knowing that I'm in the UK, I'm the only person who has ever done it. I mean, I was the guy that went to the gym and everybody spoke about Dorian. Everyone knew about Dorian, okay? And then to believe that I'm in that spot now, it's unbelievable. It's genuinely unbelievable.
Just a young lion cub playing soccer in Nigeria. That's what you were doing, brother. Yes, good time for a few more.
Hi guys, absolutely incredible to meet everyone. Made the trip from Ireland, well worth it. My question is actually for everyone, if I may. I was wondering, being a panel of incredible people that inspires millions to get into fitness, to get into bodybuilding, try to do what you guys are doing, who's inspired you? Who inspired you in the beginning to get to where you are right now?
Sydney Gillon, did you have any inspirations? Was it in the industry, out of the industry? Like Missy said, she was admiring football players. Did you have anybody that inspired you to actually get into this or to keep you motivated?
I would say my parents were my inspiration. I went to my first bodybuilding show when I was 6 years old. My parents, they were pretty obese, and I watched their journey as they lost probably total 400 pounds together. And then when we started going to the shows, I said, okay, I saw them change their life. I had high cholesterol by the time I was 12 because I was a junk food junkie. And so after watching how their life transferred after all the stress and everything, that was when I switched my life. The doctor was like, either she's gonna be on medicine for the rest of her life, or she's gonna change her lifestyle. My mom was like, I'm not paying for that, so she'll change her lifestyle. So at 12, that's when I decided to make a quick shift, change my entire diet, because I've been owning businesses my whole life. I was a candy lady back in the day, so I could buy my own food and all my own candy, so I had to really make a decision to say, I'm not going to eat that way anymore. And so at 12, I changed my life, and they were the start of showing me what it can look like to get on stage and actually take my health seriously at an early age.
All right, thank you very much. Yes, sir.
My question's for Ryan. I've been following your journey since your first Olympia, and I want to ask, what's the legacy you want to leave behind on Physique?
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. That's a long time. Yeah, that's a good question. I just always wanted that. Again, is it a cheesy answer? But I always wanted to inspire others. And like when you come to events like this, obviously this is the pinnacle of our sport. And you have a queue at Meet the Olympians, and each and every one of them are talking to you about how you've inspired them or motivated them to do better in their life. For me, that is job done. I absolutely buzz off that so much, and that's why I've been doing it for
was it 15 years, 16 years in the industry. And I live and breathe it, like I said before, I live and breathe the sport. And if I can bring a positive impact to it, and I feel like over the years, there's been a lot of like, can you say, bitchiness, and I don't want that for the sport. I want to just keep elevating it, and everybody treat it in a positive way, and that's kind of like the legacy I want to leave, really, in a positive way.
All right, thank you, Ryan. Thank you.
Cheers, thank you, mate.
All right, last couple of questions here, folks. We have to wrap it up. Yes, sir.
Congratulations to everyone here. Job well done. Very proud and impressed with you guys. And proud to be part of this league and this sport. My question is to my big brother Samson. Samson loves to give back. I see that. The first time I caught him was when he was in Korea trying to prep. And ever since I started watching him from there, I never looked back, and I kept watching this guy. And truly, he speaks what he says, you know. And my question to Samson is, definitely you're giving back to the UK, but you're also the Nigerian line. So how do you also plan to give back to Nigeria if you have that plan?
Well, I know knowing from where I come from, there's a lot of Nigerian bodybuilders there, and a lot of talented guys from Nigeria that can do this sport. And time and time again, you know, they reach out to me and they say, look, I want to get better at this. I want to get the bodybuilding. I want to know how to get sponsorship and everything else. And I know for what, I always kind of give them advice and say, look, this is what you got to do. It's extremely hard being a bodybuilder in Nigeria because we do not have the facility or amenities to it. So anything I can, it's one thing I definitely want to do. You know, I like to travel, right? So it's only about time. And after 10 years, I go back home and I go aspire some other people over there to say, look, it is possible, man. I was in your spot, I got here. You can do it too.
Thank you, James. Thanks for the question. Yes, sir.
So you guys are all so amazing, and you're rising up a good show. So my question is for Ryan. You said you were best in chaos, but what is the secret? Are you a family? You rise up, and what is the secret to be a champion like this all the years?
These questions are quite difficult. I don't know, for me, it's just loving the sport, so still enjoying the sport and making sure you prioritise what's important. So me and my wife have always said, being a father, being a dad is my number one. So as long as I don't sacrifice my time with them, I'm there, present throughout their life, and that comes first. Then obviously bodybuilding is a huge part of my life, and I absolutely live and breathe and I love it. So we then factor that in around it. And then any other time, we look at business and how we can make money from it, or how we can fund our lifestyle. And that's kind of just how I've done it. I'm somebody who has to be proactive. I'm not reactive, I have to be proactive. So I'm always thinking about the next thing or the next stages of my life. So we own real estate and properties, and I own businesses in different fields, and that's what keeps it alive for me, because it's not just one thing. I've got things in different pies, which keeps the excitement there for me. So I've just always done stuff what I enjoy, and it's the same as my training. I prep myself. I haven't got a coach, I've not got a trainer, and it's because I like to be sporadic in how I train. I go into the gym, I have no set plan. I do what feels on the day, and if people look at me going out thinking, how can you do that? And it's the same with my food. I don't count calories, I only go off weight of food. And it fluctuates each and every day on how I feel and how I'm present in with my kids. Like my food fits around my kids, my sleep pattern fits around my 1-year-old and stuff with my wife. And it's just always worked for me. And people say, how does that work? Like as a bodybuilder, you have to be this, you have to be that. For me, you don't. I think if you make it work, if you want something in life, you'll make it fit into your lifestyle, and that's what I've always done. And it's always kept enjoyment there. And there's been a few years where I've tried to go down the counting calories, doing calorie eating. It's just really full on planning everything, which works for most people and works for a lot of people. But because I work in chaos, it doesn't work for me. So I found the winning formula personally for me, and that's kind of how I've rolled with it.
All right, thanks for the question. Hang on, folks, until we're going to wrap it up. If I get Chris Bumstead, if he's still in the house, I want to get Chris out here to
He's got to get going. Folks, we're going to have to wrap it up in just a few minutes. A lot of these athletes have photo shoots to get to and such. Hey, there's Chris. All right, Chris, I know you got to get out of here, but I'm sure you've got something you want to say to the fans.
Yeah, sorry guys, I was not even expecting to be here this long, but I have a prior engagement I have to get going to right now. These Sundays are crazy, long weekends. But just wanted to say thank you guys for everything. You know, it's been an honor being able to be here every single year. You know, it was funny this year. I was like, Sunday at the press conference, I said it 2 weeks ago, and I just knew I was going to be here this year. I wanted to finish it off right, and I'm grateful I got to do so. And I'm grateful, like I said last night, that just the concept of when people are at the top for a long time, sometimes they start to get hate, and I've received nothing but love from you guys. And it's been an absolute honor and a privilege to try to put on a show for you guys for the past 6 years and be my best and be able to share this journey with all you guys. And your support means the world to me. So thank you guys for everything, all your stories, everything we share. I will be at upcoming Olympias, upcoming shows, everything. Still a huge part of the sport. So this is a goodbye to the stage, but not a goodbye forever. So thank you guys for everything.
Nice. A great champion. Give it up for Isabelle, everybody. All right, Samson, Olympia tradition. You get the last word, my friend.
Guys, I want to say thank you all for coming out. It's been one hell of an Olympia weekend, one hell of a 6th anniversary of Olympia, and I couldn't feel more proud to sit here with all these champions and be one of them. And I want to say thank you all for supporting all of us. Wow, what a weekend. What a weekend. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Kelley, Ryan Terry, Sydney.